Welcome to the Gritstoneedge walking podcast. Today's walk is to ascend Win Hill, steeply up and a long way down. A small hill with a great view. Win Hill dominates the central Hope Valley. It's seen from all around, from the Derwent Edges, from Stanage, from Kinder, from Shatton Moor, and also from the villages of the Hope Valley, including Hope itself. Today's route starts around Yorkshire Bridge, with a short, steep climb directly to the summit. Then there's a pleasant walk along the ridge of Hope Brink to Hope Cross. Then a descent through the trees to Ladybower, and back to the start along the shores of Ladybower Reservoir. The walk does not need perfect weather to complete, best if it's not too windy, but good visibility is needed to get the best of the all-round views. I've done this walk many times and find the walk back along Ladybower Reservoir a peaceful and relaxing walk until it becomes busy again around the dam. The start is from the Yorkshire Bridge pub. Parking can be found at Heatherdean Car Park where payment is needed, or at the side of the road, which can be busy. Wherever you park, the first task is to walk across the dam, and from here turn left down the track to reach the bottom of Parking Clough. This is the big climb of the day, and the route of Parking Clough to Win Hill is steep. We'll follow the path alongside the stream, first through the woods where the path can be very muddy and slippery underfoot. A fence and stile is thankfully reached. Once over this, the path gets less steep and improves significantly. Soon you're out of the wood and views open out, and this path is followed up to the top of the hill. If the steepness of Parking Clough does not appeal, then you can turn right from the dam and follow the two tracks that zigzag through the forest at a better angle. The final part to the summit is a bit rocky. The true summit is on the highest of these rocks, and there's a trig point just set off from the top. Here there's a fantastic view all directions from the top. North is the view to Bleaklow and the north arm of Ladybower Reservoir. East is over to Stanage Edge. South over to Shatton Moor, and west the great ridge of Mam Tor and Loose Hill. Here is arguably one of the best viewpoints in the whole of the Peak District, worth sitting a while and taking in the view, especially if you've chosen a less busy time for the walk. The route continues by following the ridge along to Hope Cross. There's a good path all the way along, so the walker can relax and take in the views, especially to the west. From the summit, we descend through the rocks to reach the path. Follow this gentle descent all the way to Wooler Knoll, along the grassy ridge of Hope Brink, then continue to Hope Cross, which marks the end of the ridge for our route. There is a forest on the right on the east side of the path with a semi-derelict dry stone wall. I've often sat there, maybe for lunch, maybe for coffee, and taken a view of Loose Hill and the Edale Valley, watching the trains travelling between Manchester and Sheffield. Hope Cross is a stone marker post, some 2 metres in height, marking the crossing of paths from Sheffield, Edale, Hope and Glossop, as marked on the top of the square block. From the gate, stile and wall complex at Hope Cross, the route goes east through the forest. Use the stile to get into the forest and will follow the obvious path that descends through the trees. Soon this path takes a sharp right and becomes less distinct through the forest. It's easy to lose the true path in the forest as there are many about, but this doesn't matter as long as the walker keeps to the correct direction and continues to descend towards the reservoir. The final section is often muddy, just prior to meeting the good wide track around Ladybower Reservoir. This track is followed southwest around Ladybower Reservoir back to the dam. This is a pleasant walk around the reservoir, sometimes in the trees, sometimes with views over to Alport Rocks or over to Stanage, but always a view of the busy A57 Snake Road. During recent years, the A57 has been closed off and on for various repairs due to some landslip damage, and walking along the reservoir at these times is a much quieter experience. This is a relaxing end to the walk. Time to think. Some people may like meditation. I feel I get the same experience walking along this path on a quiet day or quiet time of day. Sometimes I will listen to music, or indeed, as I've done many times in the past, listen to the cricket, which I admit is not always as relaxing. Towards the end of the track, it bends around south to reach Ladybower Dam. We cross the dam and then back to the car. This is a fantastic walk, strenuous at the start and up to the summit, but from here there's a relaxing walk with extensive views throughout. A great place to relax in the outdoors with the achievement of bagging a Peak District trig point and one of the most well-known hills in the area. Thank you for listening to this episode of the Gritstone Edge Walking Podcast. Remember to visit the site gritstoneedge.co.uk for details for this and other walks in the Peak District. See you next time and enjoy the hills and moors of the Peak District.